This is the Lights On Show. My name is Jacob Morset. I'm an honor student at Boise State University, and this is my podcast centered around turning the lights on. I go and talk to day-to-day professionals to learn how they've mastered their craft. We go in-depth on the inner workings of their perspective, their process, and their strategies, all in the hopes of inspiring others. All right, so before we get into the main bulk of the podcast, I really need to start doing this more, but I need to start doing this kind of intro subject, not really intro, but like podcast news. Dun 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 dun. Podcast news. But no, I actually just need to, I guess, have a non-actual subjected podcast part and just kind of brief on what's happening. So last week I was in Utah, and that's where I interviewed my Uncle Mike, and that's why I didn't upload until Monday. I think it was Monday. And so that's all. We're all good there. I uploaded. It was a little late, but I didn't want to edit or do all that stuff because I was still with family, and I just kind of wanted to treasure my time there, I guess. So hopefully you guys understand. I really just felt inspired to do this episode. I thought it was gonna be a really cool idea. It's from a movie I love, Hot Rod. So you have seen that, go for it. Also, if you like this episode and it brings some value to your life, please be sure to follow me on Twitter. This is where I try to communicate with you guys. And also, please follow me. Also, just subscribe on Apple Podcasts and tell all your friends about it because it helps me know. And if you tell your friends, you can continue to help them and help them develop in whatever lives that they want to live as well. So that's it for kind of what's happening with the podcast, and let's get right into the episode. Whew.
Hey Dave, Mom wants to know if your friends want some great punch.
Maggie, don't even ask, just bring it. Come on. Don't just stare at me, go! Thank you.
Those were words once said by a great man from a great movie. I'm not quite sure what the character's name is, but the movie was from Hot Rod. And he said, "Don't even ask, just bring it." These are words that I live by. And there's a few other words, but these are some of the key words that I try to implement in just about everything I do. And before I get started with my own examples, I'd like to give a more exciting one. So most of us all know Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is a famous African-American golfer who used to win a lot, and then he got a really messy divorce, and everyone hated him, and he sucked, and he didn't win. But then this year, in the Masters tournament, he took 5th, which apparently is considered a championship. And what the importance of that is that Tiger never asked anyone if he could be good again. He just brought it. He did it. He didn't even ask. He just got on that stupid little field and brought it. He didn't talk to the ball before swinging, before starting the whole tournament, looked the ball in its little face, said, "Hey, ball, I know we haven't really been good friends lately, but would you mind if I give you the heat?" And the ball didn't. No, he never said that one time. He didn't ask no one if he could bring the heat. He just brought it. He made it happen. And this is the key importance that I want to talk about in today's episode. It's this idea of not always asking for crap and just making it happen. Just bringing it home at all times. Now, the scenarios that this obviously plays into are mainly with opportunity or just kind of creating things for yourself. And then I'm going to get into some life examples. So, these opportunities I'm talking about, those would be job opportunities. They would be trying to extend your education, I don't know, trying to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a unidentifiable gendered partner, if that applies to you. And the thing that you want to just focus on is don't ask for a raise. Don't go up to your boss. Well, no. Sorry. Don't wait for them to ask you if you want a raise. Don't wait for them to ask you if you want to be given a new opportunity in school. Don't wait for that special someone to ask you on the date. You just bring it. You make it happen. Because although the context of the scene was the dude asking his sister to just bring the punch or whatever, this applies so well and fits in almost like a perfectly sized glove. Like, I'm a size medium glove, kind of small guy, and this fits like a nice, good, solid, medium-sized glove. The reason why this is so important, though, is that these opportunities that come, or quote-unquote come to you, realistically won't if you don't just make it happen. If you don't bring the heat, if you don't give the people you're trying to impress or the situation you're trying to make better, if you don't bring the heat like Tiger Woods did, you're never going to have it happen. I mean, it can happen, but the likelihood is very small. I'd like to give a good example from my last episode I did with my Uncle Mike. He was just a basic, everyday software engineer, and he made a bet with another employee that if he just brought the heat, well, the technical bet was if he were to work for 6 months, just, tooth and nail to the grindstone, just getting it done every day, that he would be promoted, be noticed, be given better opportunities, all that stuff. And he didn't ask his boss. He didn't wait for his boss to ask him. He didn't wait for anyone who can make those opportunities a reality. He didn't wait for any of that. He didn't ask him about any of that stuff. He just brought it. He made it happen without a doubt, without any questions, just had it go on. And then, obviously, like he said in the episode, he was able to flourish. And I'd like to talk about some reasons why we don't, as a society, do that. Because obviously, I feel like the examples I give are perfect evidence to why this policy of don't ask, just bring it are so important. Like, they can seriously make things happen for you. Like, no one thought, at least I didn't think, that, and I don't even follow golf, but everyone kind of knows about Tiger Woods, and everyone kind of knows that he was in a really messy divorce. Like, it's all over everything. And no one really thought that he was going to come back during the Masters tournament and kind of kill it, especially after his heyday. Like, he's old. He's an old man now. He's bald. Well, going bald. He got some white hairs, a little wrinkly, and no one thought he was going to do it. I mean, my Uncle Mike didn't think he was going to get farther in his job. So why, now that we understand why it's so important, let's talk about why people don't do it. And honestly, it's just because I think a lot of people are just too scared, especially in today's, society and the way that we have developed our culture as millennials and Gen Xers and the first generation with phones and computers and all that stuff, well, born with those gadgets and those tech. It's mainly just the fact that I feel like it's not instant gratification. It's real hard work without knowing the promise ahead. Like, Mike didn't know for sure, like 100%, he did not have a boss standing over top of him saying, that's a good boy, keep working like that, and I'm going to give you a raise. So there was no instant gratification there. Mike had to give himself his own gratification regardless of whatever was going to happen. He had to tell himself, no matter what, that he was going to do it. He had to give his own grit. He didn't have any other motivation to it. And to be honest, whether for good or for bad, I'm not trying to say this is good or bad, but just in these situations, the way our society has grown is we just need the instant gratification. We need people to like our Instagram posts. We need to know that if we post a picture of ourselves on social media, it's going to get more attention than if we post like a picture of a cat, or not even that. I would just say like if you just screenshot something on your phone and post it to social media, you'll probably get less likes. That's what I experienced when I used to use social media. And so I would never post stuff like that. I would only ever try to post what everyone else was posting, what everyone else was liking, so I could try to get the most amount of likes, and so I can compare it with my friends, and so I can try to get more followers. But these are all things that I knew ahead of time would give me more of that dopamine rush and that instant gratification at all times. And especially when it comes to, I also big time, like this is big time, it's our dating games. I feel like so many of us are so just awful. Like we spend so much time behind our phone screens and behind our computer screens, which obviously I do a lot of my work on a computer. I do a lot of my work on an iPad, and I spend a lot of time behind the screen. But some, or even still myself, like putting ourselves in those positions and only talking to people through those means and of those means of behind a screen. Like my work is mostly just work, and a lot of other people's work is just work. Mike's work, my uncle, he does it work. It's not just communication. But a lot of people are stuck in this constant trap of not knowing how to socialize. And so the socialization anxiety will bring people to not knowing how to talk to others, and makes them feel even more scared and anxious and nervous. And they don't have enough self-confidence to feel like they can obtain the person that they want to obtain. Well, that sounds kind of stupid, but you know what I mean? Like, it's that idea of you are scared that you're going to embarrass yourself, or since you aren't very good, or you think you're not very good with the opposite gender or the non-binary stuff, you are scared that they're not going to like you back and you're going to feel embarrassed. But so then you just wait, right? And you try to wait for them to come ask you and see what, and like you want them to be like, hey, so and so, I actually really like you, I hope you like me too. And then you wait to receive the answer, but they're feeling the exact same way you are, most likely, because we're all stuck in this trap of not knowing how to interact very well, and not knowing how to handle a lot of our emotions and stuff like that. And so the principle, don't ask, just bring it, will make you, if you follow that, the catalyst, the person that will jumpstart stuff, the person that will, I don't know, ask them on a date. And this also brings another point, is that dating doesn't have to mean that you're having sex and that you're exclusive to that person. Dating is literally just the act of asking someone to go hang out. That's a date. If you ask someone to go on a movie, that's a date. That's not, oh, we're talking. I mean, yes, technically dating is that we're talking stage. There isn't a talking stage and then a dating stage and then an engagement and then a marriage stage. It's just dating. That whole beginning group is just dating. Now, obviously, you can escalate whatever degree of intimacy you want to be in, but we don't have to be so nervous thinking that just because someone says, hey, you want to go on a date on Monday or Thursday or something like that, they want to have sex with you, and that you should be scared, or that they want to kiss you, or they want to do crazy stuff. Like, literally, a lot of the time, they just want to talk. They just want to hang out with you. They want to get to know who you are. So, when you understand this, now you're able to actually go and bring it. You're able to bring the heat to that person. You're able to actually walk up and say, hey, let's just go hang out. Because that's the only thing you can do. That is literally one of the only things you can do. And the worst thing they can say is no. Like, it's not illegal to ask someone to go get pizza or go get like a soda if you're like in Utah and they have fizzes and Sodaliciouses, which are awesome. But they don't, like, they can't call the cops on you. They, like, yeah, you might be a little embarrassed, but just walk away. Own your pride. Don't ask, just bring it. Don't even ask. Just bring it. Now, obviously, if this situation is not working out for you, you need to understand when it cut off certain don't ask, just bring it. And you need to reevaluate, and then don't ask about the don't ask, just bring it policy, and just bring yourself back home, And this is definitely something that I've learned pretty hard. Because now I'm kind of done with that. Why do we not do it? And so for myself, and the reason why I want to bring this up is because for myself, it's one of the many crucial policies that I live by. And a lot of the time, it's just things like my schoolwork or me working and building fences, because I build fences during the summertime for the family company. Sakoma Fence, hit us up. We build fences. And yeah, a lot of the time, you get asked to do something that you really, 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 really don't want to do. Like, you could dig big holes, put the fence post in. And sometimes the job is going to be awful. You can't ask to move. You can't, that's petty. That's disgusting. Like, you shouldn't just try to ask to get someone moved over. Like, hey, I don't want to dig these holes today. Can you move someone else over? No. Don't ask those stupid questions. Just bring the holes. Bring the holes, dig them now, fill them now, get it done. Don't ask. Just bring it. And seriously, like, it's almost like this mindset is like it's a very strong, stubborn mindset. And sometimes that's seriously what a lot of people need in their life. A lot of people need, including myself, a couple years ago, like, I needed the backbone of this don't ask, just bring it policy. Like I said, just building fences and having to work out in the field when it's raining or it's cold or it's way too hot and you're just burning up. Like, you can't ask to just take a break. You shouldn't be doing all these kind of slow and unproductive things. You just got to bring it. You got to bring the freaking heat. You got to just make it happen. You got to make it happen for yourself. You got to make it happen for the company. You got to make it happen for your coworkers. You got to bring your own heat. And this is like the same thing with dieting, or with, like I said, when you're trying to find someone in your life, like a spouse, or it's like friends, or just people around you, or if you want to get something to happen at school, or you want something to happen at your house, you have to get the strong backbone. You have to make it happen. We can't always wait for things. We can't wait to go running because we need to consult a running expert on the best form for running. No, you got to start stretching, boy or girl or it, they or them. I don't know the boy, girl. I guess it would, I don't know. I honestly don't know. So not trying to offend anyone there, but anyways, you just got to do it. You got to get on the ground and start stretching out your butt to do all these things. And I don't know, it just kind of irritates me when you just see people all the time, and you watch YouTube videos about these people all the time, and they're just so fragile. They have such a fragile will and they don't want to do things. They don't want to work. They don't want to show the world what potential they have, because if we're going to be honest, we're all Homo sapiens. We're all humans. We all have the same type of body comp. We're all sourced in the same general thing. Regardless of whatever you want to believe. If you want to believe in heaven and hell, you want to believe that we're, children of God. If you want to believe in the creation of apes, if you It doesn't matter what type of belief you have. Everyone understands we're all people, except for those really, really, really old, racist white people like in the South that are a different story. Those people do not apply. But we're all people, and we're all capable of amazing things. Like, all of us could be amazing. And there's like 8 billion people here. There's like 8 billion people on this earth, and there has been billions, and I don't know. Well, there's been billions of people before us. And we're all capable of such amazing things. But we need the backbones in order to do it, because it's hard. It's hard to just bring it. How hard do you think it was for Tiger Woods to go through his entire career being an awesome, awesome, awesome golfer? And then he had a super crazy, messy divorce that totally screwed over him financially. I mean, he still has lots of money, but it took quite a large chunk. And, like, imagine how hard it was for him to try to fix himself emotionally, try to fix himself physically after all that stuff, because you definitely know he got out of shape. Yes, golfers still have to be in shape, but he definitely got out of shape during that entire divorce, and he lost a whole bunch of times in between it, and his morale was probably terrible. It sucked, but he came back. He just made it happen, and that was probably really hard. And honestly, I don't even know Tiger Woods. I don't follow nothing about sports at all. I don't even know what really happened during his divorce. I don't know nothing. And this is why I think this perspective, and that's why I kind of like that perspective I have, because all I get to see is the trials and his up and downs. And he came back from a huge pitfall. He just made it happen. He had a strong backbone, and he did it. And honestly, so many other people can do similar things in their own way. You hear people who grow up in third world countries and they come to the United States, or they go to it. I'm just giving example the United States because this is where I hear all the stories. But you just hear people who will travel to different parts of the world, find a new culture, and dig deep, grow a thick backbone, and thrive. And we pretty much all can do that. And if you want to argue with me, go ahead. That's fine. But genuinely, people are made to be great. And I think that if we all gave ourselves a good, solid foundation of don't ask, just bring it. Which, by the way, you can develop. This is kind of how I did it. You can develop just by saying it. Just by saying, don't ask, just bring it. Like, when you're digging a hole in the summertime, it's super hot, or you're just doing something you really hate doing, just keep saying that to yourself over and over and over and over again, just trying to build that will, and trying to build the work ethic, trying to build the courage, the self-confidence. A lot of this is self-confidence. Like, people don't think that you can do it, or that you can't do anything, and you need this instant gratification in order to do anything, but you just gotta do it. You just bring it. Anyways, yeah, honestly, guys, just if you think that would be something, if you think this is something that you can benefit from, honestly, you can do it. Just tell yourself, don't ask me how to do it. Don't ask your mom, don't ask your dad, don't ask your friends, don't ask your family. Just bring it.